Hey, Matt, how are you?
I am doing great. How are you?
Doing well, thanks. Having some interesting conversations today about what it takes to go all in on something. And I wanted to talk about going all in. What does it actually mean to go all in if you're being called to do something? What does that mean? Because I think it means something different to everybody.
Really? Why do you think it means something different?
Because I think the concept of all in, it's on a spectrum. It could be super dramatic where you just drop everything else that isn't that and you have to give it your everything? Or could you still go all in and then still show up in other areas of your life too? And is that truly all in or is that half in?
That's half it,
Why though?
right? I mean, even how you explained it is like I only want to do a partial in, right?
Well,
That's
but you're all in, meaning say the only thing time wise that you can dedicate to that thing is maybe your working hours, because like this is where I've been with it. I am a parent of 3 children and they're young. So for me, I can't necessarily drop everything in my weeks to go all in on something because I still have to show up in different places in my life. So what does all in mean? Is it the portion of time that you give to that thing that you give all of, or is it literally all in? And if
well,
it's calling you to do all in, can you even do it if you have other
well,
commitments?
so the last question is more important, right? If you can't go all in, then it's easier to acknowledge I cannot go all in. But how you define all in is very important, right? So say someone in your shoes, same exact circumstances, but maybe they sacrifice more somehow, whether it's something else, it could be sleep. Would you consider that more all in? Because they're saying, no, I need to work even beyond working hours. Or you can take it on the flip side. Say parenting, you got to go all in on parenting. That means you got to step back almost entirely from work, right?
Right.
If you want to say, hey, I have a friend that has a special needs kid. He was really great. He didn't run a business, but he was like VP of something, and like he really loved his job. And it was too demanding, and he had to take care of a special needs kid. He just quit. He said he didn't say all in, but in my head, he said, "Hey, I need to go all in on my family and nothing else." And he totally quit. It was a huge whatever pay cut, whatever it is, happened. That's going all in. So I kind of spin it back to you. It's like, well, if you have someone in the same circumstances as you, but they do more, does that mean it's more all in? And then on the flip side, if you're saying all in is within a working hour, well, what if your family says all in? Does that mean you're going to say, oh, I'm sorry, I can't answer the phone because I'm working?
So for me, this is interesting. I think my family comes first still. So I go all in for my family.
Mm-hmm.
If family calls during working hours or during a meeting, I'm going to answer that call. I'm called to be a mom first. So that's my all in. But my second all in for working hours, for work time, which you like, can you even have that?
You can't,
Is
you can't have both. That's
right,
my argument.
right.
Because the second, there's definitely family emergencies, but something has to give. You can't say if you have a work emergency, you have a family emergency. What do you take precedence, right? And if you have a lot of family emergencies and you're the only go-to person for it, then it is impossible to go all in and work.
Mm, that's fascinating. I'm
Yeah,
thinking a lot on
here,
this today.
let's weigh this out. You
Yeah.
have a series of sales calls throughout the week that maybe total, we'll say 10x of whatever you made entirely. They're not final deals, but you have another case of whether they're emergencies or things that are very important to your family that need to happen the same week. You have to choose what is all into you. It's going to be, I imagine it's going to be family. You have to turn down those deals, or
Yeah.
you try whatever you can to push them off, right? You try whatever, but because you're bidding, other people are going to take your spot. And I would also willing to bet other people in the same exact circumstances will figure a way to take your spot as well. this is what it means. This is my opinion. What it means to go all in is you only get to choose one.
Mm-hmm.
If you choose half and half, guess what? Half quality as well.
Yeah.
Now, family, I don't have a family, so I don't know how much time it really does take to run it. But I
Yeah.
know work is, if you want to go beyond, it's not measured by hours, it's measured by output. But what often happens is you spend a lot more than 8 hours a day to get the quality of output you're looking for to beat whatever you're trying to beat, whether it's the market, the competition, yourself, whatever it is. And that requires a lot of sacrifice.
Yeah.
That's my version of all in. And I think there are definitely people in your situation, actually even more juggling things, but can still go all in one thing.
So you think that there are other people who still have a family commitment or something they have to go all in, but they have
100%.
something else that they could
Yeah.
go all in. So what does that mean?
I know plenty of business. I think it's a very uncomfortable situation for those folks to speak it. So I don't want to speak for them, but I'll give you my opinion on what I think is.
Okay.
Family is still number one, but they do a really good job of ensuring the family is taken care of. So while they're all in and on work, they are not interrupted. Now, if they have to be interrupted, they will drop what they need to, but they do a very good job of trying to prevent that in the first place.
I see. Yeah.
And I know they still go home, at 5. But what they'll do is they'll wake up at 4. Like, I know this crazy person. She wakes up at 4 a.m. She's got a kid, and she loves her to death. And it's like 5 o'clock is a hard cutoff. But she knows she cannot grow her company unless she really puts more out. Like, she needs to be present. She shift her all company hours got to be 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. whatever to 5.
Wow.
Right? Because she needs to do, like, families is still number one to her, but her future of everything also relies on her work. To me, that's all in on work. Like, she's sacrificing sleep. Somehow she figured it out. I mean, I don't think she's sacrificing like a lot of sleep because she just goes to bed earlier. But but what I mean is, like, I can never do that. Like, I would have to figure some other way to go all in. I can't shift. And I know that's, I don't know if she was naturally a morning person or not, but to do that, I think it's that you have to sacrifice something.
That's fascinating because one of the things I just came to yesterday, I was really high visionary mode yesterday. So yesterday was very much planning next year, life planning. My brain was just literally on a cloud all day, and I had to bring myself back to earth. And it was crazy.
I mean, you are in Colorado, so you are in Colorado.
All right. And so it was a very interesting time for me because I literally thought about what are some habits I want to change. And one of those things that is similar to this example you just gave in that story was I want to free up more daytime hours to work, to bring things across the finish line. And I don't want to be dedicating my working hours to appointments, if I can help it, to the gym, to other things that are a priority for me for my mental health, but not during those working hours. And for me, it was, I need to be at the gym bright and early in the morning, which is something that I've fought with for years and years and years. But I can't be dedicating an hour or two 3 times a week in the afternoon when I should be having conversations, when I should be doing the things and the activity that's going to be taking me more all in on this speaking journey of keynote speaking, because that's where I'm heading. So
let me take a pause there. It doesn't always mean you need more hours. It just means your impact needs to be a lot better. Right? So you can if you're able to move mountains in 2 hours, great, you got 22 hours the rest of the day. So it also comes down to your ability to execute more than anything.
Right.
Because, like, there's definitely plenty of days I'll work 1 hour a day. Now, it's not common, but I might have like one great call or whatever, and I'm like, that call made more whatever. No, maybe not always money, but just made such a big impact that I'm going to chill out.
It's working from impact versus input.
It's output. It's not even impact. It's output. You're out. It's 20% of your time is 80% of the output.
That was part of my day yesterday, was realizing I get in my flow state often in the afternoon. I will have a really great morning of meetings. I really love to have conversations in the morning. And I love to then use the afternoon to just get through. My brain really turns on in the afternoon for ideating and content and storytelling and strategy. And I'm not protecting that time, because what I've realized is when I have a really great work flow and my brain is turned on and I'm feeling really inspired, I have to stop and either go to the gym, because that's the time I had it planned and I don't want to skip my workout, or go pick up the kids from school. And those are the two things that are starting to really wear at my productive time that I've naturally found myself going into. And so when I was doing this life planning for next year and rearranging my schedule, I've been thinking about, well, what if my husband and I both share the pickup and drop off schedule? Well, what if instead I take the kids to school every single day? I drop them off in the morning and I'm up, moving, working out, moving my body, getting through all that in the morning. So I'm done. And then what if he picks them up? Maybe not every afternoon, but maybe more afternoons, right? So that I could have longer days for that flow state. I don't know. Those are the kind of the concepts that I'm working through right now, is by life planning and schedule planning.
Is there anyone in your network that is also a parent, but is also running a very highly functioning business?
Oh, I think there's several. Sure.
I think you should probably reach out to them then and see how they're managing it, because you need someone to do an apples to apples comparison that is, they have to be a couple steps ahead of you. If they're same level or behind, they're going to have identical problems as you. Probably some work with them, but they got to be a couple steps ahead, because something's working for them that for others is not. Yeah, and you can see what that is.
That's great advice. Actually, yeah, there's a lot of people in my network I could start thinking about reaching out to and saying, what does that look like? And I'm assuming, this is just from the conversations I've had with some people I'm thinking of, they do after school care, or they have a family helper, or something of what that looks like, which could be, we tried it, we didn't love it, but maybe we need something like that, right? Again, back in our lives, we just have to figure out what works for the flow of our family and what works for me to continue having that flow state. So,
and there is also other situations where if it's impossible to run, if it's impossible to do one thing really great out of this, like say you're balancing work, fitness, mental health, and family, and none of them are really doing great, then it's also true that you have to remove one of them, which is probably going to be work, or probably work, because health is pretty important. Right? If you kind of think about it, is like, well, maybe now is not the time to do this, because I'll give you like a metaphor in table tennis, which is a lot of times people will try practicing every day. They'll practice like crazy amount of hours, but they're making very little progress. But they either don't have the time to dedicate for the proper intensity, don't have the money to hire the coach to teach you the right way, don't have the mental aptitude to persevere through the main blocker. They keep hitting the wall and then coming right straight back down. Right. And it's because there's other factors in their lives, other factors that are just influencing it. And it's just, now is not the right time to go beyond your limit, because going beyond your limit is really what you're really discussing. When we talk about all in means 110% every single day, relentlessly, and you can be emotional about it. You can cry through it. It doesn't matter, but you still get shit done. That's what all in truly is. And I don't really think there's mincing words around it and opinions, because where does the term come from? It came from poker. You go all in a hand. It means I stand by my two cards, regardless of the outcome. So if you're only going partial all in, it means I stand by the cards, but I'll fold if I feel uncomfortable. Right? Yeah. That's not all in. That's
I
Great,
love
you
that
fold.
analogy. I'm literally going to a poker night this week on Thursday, and this was just the perfect mindset to think about playing that game, right? When you're going all in, you're going all in. Like having that gut check of this is it. This is where I am. I'm going all in. Having that, what is that? That conviction of this is what I want. This is where I'm going. This is what I need. This is what's good. I'm going forward. That is literally trusting your intuition and trusting your guide that is in your gut, and that is
Maybe
something.
it's and this is different for everyone, this piece. So for me, I'm kind of all in every day, kind of in something. Some days it's table tennis, some days it's work, some days it's relationship.
Well, but then to your prior comment about that, is that really all in, or because you're all in on all these different things, you're just partially in everywhere?
um, I measure by output. So if I'm ahead on the output, I can turn my attention to other things.
Does
Right
all in
now,
just mean for that day what you're going to go
no,
all in
it
on, or
means
does it
I
change?
would say it's very much goal oriented. Very much goal oriented. So say like, hey, okay, I'm working on chip outs marketing stuff, and we're changing all the marketing. I've been all in on that every single day because it hasn't been solved. It has not been solved. It is like literally, I tell my wife, stop bothering me. I push the cats away. I go elsewhere. Table tennis, I had to reduce hours. Everything until that's solved. And then once it's solved, and then I spend less hours there and do all in on other things.
So you're all in on chipbot marketing right now.
Yeah. And things are being sacrificed for it.
How do you feel about what's being sacrificed?
I love it because I know this is, I always tell people, I can't wait to fast forward 5 years. I can't wait to fast forward 3 years because every year my future is way better. So that's where my head's at all the time. It's like, I'm just waiting. I'm looking at the clock. I'm just waiting. It's like, is it next year already? Is it next year? Because I'm miserable right now.
Okay. Because you're in the middle. I would call this the middle, right? The middle is all the work. You want the result. You want to be at the end, but sticking in the middle of the grunt work and everything effort-wise that you're putting in to get to the end, that's where we
It
are.
doesn't really bother me. I'm just annoyed that I'm waiting. Right. And it's
Waiting
not
for
like
what, though?
I'm waiting for my future. Right. I'm working
How do you know the future
110%
has arrived?
because I'll be working on the next output. I'll be working on the next goal.
So you're waiting for the future of the resolution of chipbot marketing so that you can move on.
There's no resolution. Like, and all these things, it's more like you hit a goal and you set a higher goal, right?
That's it. That's what I was going to argue with you. I don't think there is a future or an end.
If you wake up in the morning saying there's no future, there's no end, then it's really hard to kind of get yourself out of the bed and saying, I want to finish this and conquer it, right? You have to set milestones. Otherwise, you go on forever. Beyond Chipbot, I'll be another company. There'll be another startup. There'll be another freaking 12 months of shit.
Yeah.
Right. And like, who wants to endure that? But I already know that's my future too.
Right. So it's setting infinite. The goals within that thing that you're working on. And then when you hit those goals, you say, okay, this is a milestone that we've hit, which means this is the future of all of the work that I've done. And I'm now at that future. So now I have to decide, do we set new goals for the same thing, or am I ready to shift my attention elsewhere?
To be honest, I'm not really systemizing it like that, right? It's more like, look, I make it very simple. I have one major thing that's going to change my future, and I need to solve it right now, right? It really comes down to that. Once it's solved, the next thing bubbles up and takes its place. Like, that's kind of how I function day to day. There's no planning. There's no like, okay, let's put this here. Let's make sure I play table. It's like, okay, there'll be 3 days in a row where I can't play table tennis. That means there's for sure, I'm going to be like, okay, one day is just dedicated just table tennis the whole day. Like, I'm going to just max out my body. Like, I shouldn't do that, but I'm just going to do it anyway. Right. And it's just like, that's kind of how I work. I don't really plan it because once I start, it's impossible to plan a high functioning output with high accuracy. The reason why is because if you say I'm a block 2 to 4 doing this thing, but you need another half hour to go even beyond what you even thought of. What are you going
Right.
to do? You're going to say, I'm going to cut off and then kill the flow state? No, you're going to keep going. Because you already began it. Why would you stop the journey and stop half-ass? Why would you go half-ass? You
Right.
finish it. So it's really hard to say, I'm going to make a series of processes, then make a series of systems and block series of things out, because the best work comes in the flow state, comes in when time is irrelevant.
Agreed. Do you think that you can control when the flow state happens based on where you are
No,
and
it's
your
just like table
environment?
tennis. Table tennis, you have something called flow state too. Flow state is like when you have the ultimate concentration, relaxation, and explosiveness all at once.
Yeah.
And it only happens very, very brief moments in a match. Everyone's different. It's very brief. You can't control it, but what you can do is you can optimize the chance to keep making it happen more and more.
Uh-huh.
For me, work is very simple. I just love what I do. So I literally sit down and 7 out of 10 times I'm right in my flow state. I just love like the challenge. I love solving challenges.
So flow state is somewhat controlled by having a passion for what it is that is in front of you.
It's passion, it's energy, right? You got to have good sleep. Like, I don't know, you didn't have to, but like for me, it's good sleep. It's you ate well, you get hydrated. Like, it's like your body's not in the way. There's that. And then mentally, nothing's in the way. And then you just go all in, whatever you want to do. Right.
Yeah.
So I optimize for that. I think I eat pretty well most of the time. I stay hydrated when I can. I exercise. My body is generally not in the way. I'm not old enough where I wake up with pains. I wake up and I'm ready to go. I take cold showers and I'm just like, I'm shipping it.
Yeah.
So I'm not every day I'm in flow state, but I increase the chance of that like high functioning output very quickly. Yeah. And the things I do day to day isn't always, right now it's marketing, but a lot of times it's support, a lot of times it's sales. I'm in a lot of sales calls still, right? How do you be highly functioning that too at the same time? It's like I'm in the flow state in all these different disciplines all at once. And you can't plan for that. You can't, the only thing you do is just make sure you wake up and you're just ready to conquer the day.
That's exactly why I'm shifting my gym routine to early in the morning, because I feel incredibly confident and strong with how I lift in the morning. Well, no, just when I'm at the gym.
As long as you don't have an injury.
Exactly.
You gotta be careful.
And so as I kind of rehab back from that and work on the strength of my body, it triggers my mind in the right energy and the right flow of how Anne needs to operate in that daily workflow of showing up and getting into that flow state better. Whereas if I've had a full work day and then I'm going to get that kind of energy and confidence in the gym in the afternoon, it's starting to make those evening times, which from 3 to 8 p.m. when you're a parent is like crucial family time. And it's putting me into that state where it's a little more draining and exhausting for those hours. Whereas if I have it in the morning first thing, it's actually making my mind and my body stronger for what the work ahead of me to put me in that flow state quicker. Whereas the morning routine I have now is not putting me in that flow state quicker. So it's taking me into the afternoon.
But it's okay if you don't have a flow state quick. Like, you can't bring it up. So it's one of those things that it took me years to find out what it means to be flow state. And actually what I do today will most likely change 5 years from now.
Uh-huh.
Right? So
it will.
You just kind of have to figure out, like, it's going to take a long time. I don't think it's like an instant thing. But you just said one very important aspect, which is 3 to 8, it's family time. That means it's really 1:30 to 8 or 1:30 to 9, because there's ramp up, ramp down period.
Right.
Right. And if you consider that, and then you consider lunch, that means you really stop working after 11, realistically, on Monday through Friday. Because I have table tennis some days 4 to 9. Mm-hmm. What it means is it's really 3 to 10.
Right.
Whether it's travel, ramp up, ramp down, whatever, it's even focus. Like, I don't know. Right. So then your working hours, right? Well, if you may only be working a few hours a day, and then you're filling the rest with busy work, feeling like you're working, but you're really not.
Sure.
And it really means, like, you might need to focus like everything to be in the morning. Sacrifice is going to be the morning.
Yep.
Or it might mean that you're not allowed to work out in the morning because you need more hours of dedicated continuous work. and then the workout needs to shift somewhere else. And then this is where the combination of like figuring out how to hack your body to optimize that, changes. And this goes into health too with circadian rhythms. Like my circadian rhythm was definitely like different before I optimized what I could. It was just like, it all just fell into place like one day.
Yeah.
And once I found it and it repeated, I was like, we're doing this. This is it. Nothing's changing as long as I can make it not change. This is a time when I'm a highly functioning individual and not a potato.
I love that. Awesome. Thanks for breaking it down with me today. I think it's really important to think about our time commitment and how much of ourselves we can give if we're going all in, or what does all in mean, right? It's a fascinating topic. I think it's also important to take a step back, especially annually with a new year coming up, and decide how we want to be spending our time, because we control that. So that's a reminder for everybody.
If you get 7-2, make sure you go all in on your
there you go.
game.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. It's great chatting with you today.
Yep. See ya.